You have my bacon.
Excellent. And I also have a stream that's live.
I was hoping that was the first live of the stream.
I think I got Zach and Kyle in the middle of saying a thing, but very close.
I was drinking.
Okay. But yeah. Take it away, Zach.
Okay. Hello, Internet, and welcome to our continuation of our beta testing with our murder mystery at the Court of Otomo. As a recap from last session episode, we did character gen, and then there was the Otomo daimyo has died, and each of the major clans has sent their to attend the funeral as is proper. The Scorpion, Dragon, and Unicorn clans have sent a single individual, as personified by our player characters. A single character, single individual each, I should specify. And the other clans have sent larger and more prestigious groups for various reasons. When our arrived, they were sequestered for a short period, brought to the main household of the Otomo by the security guard, the head of chief of security, informed by the widow Otomo that there had been another death, and that they would then be responsible for investigating, tracking down, and bringing the perpetrator to justice. Our protagonists then proceeded to investigate the quarters of the newly murdered monk who was overseeing the funeral arrangements for the Otomo daimyo, and found. Let's remember, what did you find? You found the body of the monk. His neck has been snapped. There were some shrines knocked over in the scuffle. There's some sort of black, crunchy substance underfoot, powder, and there is a scorch mark on the earth near where his missing left hand should be.
All of this just points to the Crane clan. I should specify.
Well, I am running this game, so you can almost be assured that the Crane clan is not innocent. But, and then yes, our Unicorn Shugenja detected
bad juju.
Bad juju, like super bad juju, like Shadowlands bad juju.
Would any of us even know what the hell the Shadowlands are?
Probably not. The
Shugenja probably does.
The Shugenja probably has some sort of sense, and the Unicorn sort of traveled a lot and came back through, sort of. So the Shugenja would have the most clue what that is, probably. Our Yuchi, the fetishist.
I have a first name, Gall.
And I think that's about it. This monk was overpowered. From your investigation, you've determined that this monk was overpowered. There was a struggle. Neck was snapped. Hand was removed. Fire was involved somehow. There's a crunchy black powder on the floor. Missing besides the hand. And there was bad juju involved.
Classic Crane.
At this point, in your investigations, because you've sort of been left here with, I think you had a chaperone, right? Because two of the younger guards brought you here.
Yep.
And then you sent one of them out to collect monks.
Yeah.
I believe was the instruction.
Makoto is collecting literally every other monk and interviewing them.
Mainly to piss off the hierarchy here. Which is how you
You
play
gotta-
L5R. Is
Also, you can't forget to talk to the Heinen because undoubtedly one of them knows something.
right.
Haven't I
everybody
already started
rewards
to
if at all
corrupt one
possible.
of them?
One of the guards, I believe it's the one that's still in the room with you, because you had two guards, right? One of them was sent away to collect monks,
Yep.
and the other one is here. And Ichiro already had some success into. I don't know if it's going to be if it's a willing partner, but at least a patsy of some sort, probably.
Well, I mean, I've also already just made a massive show of being a colossal prick to the lady of the house, so...
But again, you're a scorpion, so this is all in character.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where we stand. As you are investigating, there seems to be some sort of argument, but in very Rokugani terms, an argument. Getting fairly loud outside of this sort of temple state. You can't. There's various walls and doors between here and there, but you can definitely hear people in the courtyard forcefully speaking at each other.
I have one incredibly
What were we
important question.
Yeah.
Is Django on their horse?
I do not believe that I would be riding my horse through these comparatively tiny hallways.
I
Are
just
you sure? Because you are a unicorn.
Right.
But I'm a weird unicorn.
I think.
But you
I think
repeat yourself.
The unicorn pony has probably been stabled with the other mounts.
Excuse me. Horse.
Because the
You all have
Rokuganis
your
ride ponies,
ponies.
and you ride
Look,
actual
we've
horses.
stabled this for now.
God.
Okay. Andrew or Ichiro, you had a question?
No, that was it. I just wanted to know if Django was on their horse.
Mikado, were you about to say something before we got started?
Yeah, I don't remember where or when we left off.
So you got we sort of left off with you guys in the middle of that investigation. You had found these sorts of things. Moments ago, the guard had been sent to collect monks. You've only been in this room for a few minutes, basically.
Okay, so our final actions from last session were learning that dude had hand cut off with fire lightsaber. Oh, sorry, Sith fire lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Some sort of Rokugani Sith Lord is clearly here somewhere.
so Django's nearby, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
Django's
still in
in
the
the room
area,
with you.
just kind of finishing up my spirit commute.
I really want Makoto to say that like out loud. Django's here, right? And like Django is literally like the camera just like pans right 2 degrees.
Like getting in touch with everything, and she's like,
Well, I'm not gonna speak to people who have obviously been dealing with Maho.
"Right, I forgot that's a thing."
That the Kensuke investigator just missed the other party member that was in the room with them.
So let's see. We're going to talk to everybody. We're going to. Shit. I forgot. Can I actually gather evidence?
Isn't that the whole point of you? You're the evidence man.
Right, but I
Like
forgot.
you're
I don't
going
remember if
to
I've.
collect it into things.
I don't know if I've actually. Yeah. I don't remember if I've actually put points into the process of gathering evidence.
So, that would be amazing.
Well, look, I'm new at this system, right?
Yeah.
L5R.
I should also
The
bring up the
bad cop.
the
Why do I
generic.
have the? Oh, that was my other character.
All right. So it's just open this PDF, huh?
Wait, another character for this game or
No, the last time I played L5R, I played Scorpion Bad Cop.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Who was also new.
a coworker told me a story of when he was playing this way back, and apparently one of the fellow party members was a lion. They discovered some giant, horrible. What do you call it?
I was like the bear that was a rogue that nobody noticed was a
Yeah.
bear.
Yeah. So a Lion Clan person, they discover this giant, just like a giant shame upon like the entire royal house or something. And his response was to yell, "No witnesses!" and start executing everyone.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
It seems like a slight overreaction, but very lion. They definitely reacted the lion way.
Yeah.
Just in a very
Especially the
lion
Matsu way, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just love the mental image of like the samurai with a giant fucking club or something yelling "no witnesses" and just like clubbing 4 people in one swoop to death.
That seems pretty crabby.
I mean, yeah.
Well, the killing everyone for basically no reason is sort of a Matsu thing too.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Look
So
at
So
it.
yes, I'm here.
All right. Do you know of anything that produces flame such as this? And I point out the stuff.
Obviously, this was the work of Crane Clan sorcerers, and I like spit outside of the little like temple we're sitting in.
I don't think the Crane Clan is allowed to use magic.
That's a
That's
very
exact-
admirable guess,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's right on. Let me see, and then I'm probably going to roll some kind of check for that.
Yeah, the probably the whatever the magic knowledge.
God,
is.
I have 5 pages of character sheet.
Jeebus.
Yup.
Theology, that good enough?
Theology sounds about right. Sure. Roll
Cool,
that sucker.
alright. I gotta remember how to do that.
The air theology, I assume.
Yeah, are you tricky theology or are you?
Oh, I forgot. I have to
Willful theology.
categorize.
So yeah, scholar approaches, air is analyze, earth is recall, fire is theorize, water is survey, and void is sense.
I'd probably want to recall in this instance.
Okay.
I would think.
Then roll with Earth.
Okay.
See
How
if you
roll?
if you remember something that can do something like this.
You roll a
What's the
number
expression.
of black dice equal to your ring and
Yes.
white dice
Equal to your skill.
Right. I just don't remember the expression in roll 20.
So if you go to the the 4th tab up at the top, the second rightmost one,
Yeah.
you can hit.
Yep. I see it.
There
Okay.
you go.
So.
And you too, playing at home, can hack fake dice into your own roll.
Oh, that's
20
right. I have this
tabletop
expression
games.
right in the middle of the screen. Haha. Is that good?
So you've got 1 success.
And an explosive success,
Mm-hmm.
2 strife, and an op.
You get to keep 2 dice, right? Because you got ring 2.
Yeah, you
Right,
keep your
yes.
ring.
So I'll keep the explosive success and the. Well, actually, I should have asked.
Oh.
What's the difficulty on this one?
I should have told you what the difficulty is. Yeah. So just for like where could fire come from, we'll set the difficulty at 1 and we'll figure it out from there.
Damn it, GM, you know what I mean.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm gonna keep the explosive success, obviously, and then
Okay.
I will keep. Well, I have to roll that again, so I should do that.
You should. Nice.
Okay, I'll keep going. This is a great start.
Welcome to Exploding Dice here
so hang on.
that
You
D&D
are
podcast.
getting an incredibly large amount of
Yes.
Strife.
You can't
Yes.
stop.
I know I
We
can't.
We are living deep in the bizarro 90s right now. I want to
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit.
Oh, come on.
Nice.
That can't be.
and we
right.
got exploding custom dice.
Yeah.
Are
And it
you?
just won't stop exploding.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes off that 1 die so far.
That's 5 successes on that 1 die.
Yeah.
Okay. No more.
You can't stop. Oh, no, that is a normal success.
That's
okay.
a regular
Normal
success.
And-
All right.
It's a
So
regular
how many of
success.
these?
So that's
How many
1, 2,
strikes did
3,
you pull
4,
there, friend?
5. 5
5
strays.
strikes.
You flip out.
Yeah, you
I
lose
think.
your shit.
What's the limit? I have it written down.
It's pretty low.
My composure is 6.
Okay.
I've
So-
planned for this.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so you got 4 from that die. Are you keeping one of your ring? I think you have to keep one of your ring dice, right?
I think I do. Wait, didn't I have strife from last time?
Probably.
I think you
Almost
probably had
certainly.
strife from last time at some point, didn't you?
I think I had at least one, if not two.
I had
Koto
one.
got hit pretty hard.
I
and
had
the other two had a little bit.
I had one, and I think I was the lowest.
I'm fairly certain I had two. So yes, I do flip out at this point.
You
Okay.
definitely had at least 2.
I think two sounds about right. I just
Yeah.
did not write that down because I am a fool.
Well,
Okay,
Not
so
like
the
it matters now. It's getting a reset.
you could have 1 or 2
Yeah, you
depending
should.
on what you kept last session. Last session, it looks like.
I remember two.
Okay.
Okay, so GM, how work?
Okay, so you have some way that you probably would have come up with a way that you flip out during character creation.
Yes,
Remember that, right?
That's a question.
I think we can probably also modulate it
right.
based on the fact that you're remembering how fire works.
So-
somehow.
So
Not
my
just
answer-
remembering how fire works, but remembering how exactly this fire works, to the tune of
Remembering
6
remembering
successes
how-
worth of fire knowledge.
not just
This
any
is like-
fire, but Maho fire.
This is like Maho fire killed my family, and like I am transported back to the time when
we get
like,
the
my
extended.
first son
Yeah,
is like,
no, it's,
in my arms dying.
it's a-
as the
it's a
demon
5-minute
cancers off.
it's a 5-minute long take of the Fire Nation attacking.
Yeah,
Right.
like
And-
we get like the entire family feedback that we get on like the next to last episode of the season. I get that
Mhm.
now. So my answer for 15 was when she loses her cool, Jungo will either belittle any and all around her for perceived faults, or to treat everything around her as beneath her attention and not engage.
That's the opposite. Well, shit on us, fine, but like, give us the knowledge, man.
Yeah. So
Yes. So you can either check out or be a jerk.
Well, I mean, or you can split it out and like ignore the asshole scorpion who's like, obviously this is Crane.
all right, I'm gonna choose be a jerk option. So tell me what I know, GM, with my infinite
All right.
successes.
So what you know? Ridiculous number of successes. Okay. So there's sort of 3 ways that fire happens. One is the old-fashioned way. That probably was not how this works because that doesn't usually score the floor in a straight line. For monks to do things like call on their fire ring to cause their limbs to burst into flame before they punch things or stuff. Probably not what's going on in this case. This looks like a fire spell of some sort, and for 5 successes, Jesus Christ. For 5 successes, what this looks like to you, at some point during your training, right, you saw someone you were training under, like, had to save you from wolves or something with a Shugenja prayer that summons a katana of fire. And you're like, that's totally what just happened right here. Katana of fire. And
Okay.
somebody cast a spell, and there's a katana of fire.
Okay. So when I hear Ichiro mutter, I don't know if you were muttering it to yourself or you're just out and about with it, just saying this is obviously Crane magic.
Oh yeah.
I don't hear you at first because I'm like reliving when Gunsing-sama saved my life from, what do they call the Romans in this world? They call them something stupid.
Oh, what is the word for him?
I don't even remember. I don't want to do.
It's also like a super close-up shot of like just your eyes, and it's the
Mhm.
Kill Bill
Oh, yeah.
like
Right.
But the lighting is red.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
All
yeah.
you see in the back is the reflection of the
Of fire in the
demon
eyes.
suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Gunseng-sama was just going to town on these Roman-ass wolves, and I'm just like, what is happening? Where did he learn this from? This is insane. And I come back right in the middle of you saying Crane Clan magic, and I just look at you contemptuously and like, how little have you studied your superiors and peers? Because this is not something that the Crane will do. They will try to will you away with 1,000 tiny water daggers. This is a katana of fire. This is not their style. You are out of your element. And then I just like kind of walk away.
God damn it, Ichiro, you're out of your element.
You're out of your element, Donnie.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
I tug at whatever my... Oh, I tug at my mask, because I don't have a collar, probably.
You're Rodney Dangerfield, the mask. All right, so it's at that moment with that outburst going on that an elderly man wearing the red robes of the Phoenix sort of stumbles into the room and looks around, sort of sweeping his eyes back and forth. He's shaved bald, and he is visibly drunk. Definitely dressed as a phoenix. He looks like a monk, a phoenix monk, and he sort of sees the three of you here, looks at the body on the ground. You can see him like instantly sober up a little bit, and then back towards the door.
Would I be expected to show him any deference?
He's a monk, so sort of. I mean, he's a Great Clan character that's also a monk.
Yeah.
And monks are technically samurai, so
yeah.
I mean, he's not one of the lower castes. He's
right, but like deference because he's an elder or anything like that. Okay.
Really up to you. Probably not in any real way, I would guess.
Okay.
Zach, is there any like other mechanical stuff that has to happen for me having a breakdown, or is it just I act like a jerk?
I don't think so. I think that like if it happened around anyone that wasn't like your subordinate or one of your party members, I think there's a chance you would take like social penalties and things.
All right. Well, I'll look it up. You just keep going. Let me see.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So this individual starts backing towards the door in sort of a drunken fashion, and I can see you gentlemen are busy. I will let myself out.
I think I'm the only dude in the room.
I can see you, good samurai, are busy. I will let myself out.
Hello, friend.
Outburst rules, it looks like, are on page 16 of that PDF. 16 and 17.
Got it. Thank you.
Compromise or flee, expose a weakness, become enraged, shut down, or inappropriate remark seem to be the options.
I think I want.
Yeah.
Is it page 16?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
17 and 18 it looks like, or 16, 17.
All right. I'll look at it and I'll pick what I did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Hi.
So,
I think we sent for you.
That seems. Have you seen have you seen a Shiba? Have you seen sorry, let me look her up real quick. Shiba Yoshi. Is she supposed to? No. I'll. You are clearly busy. I will see you at some point later.
I think.
No.
I think I'm gonna bow and say I can take you to them. I know where they are.
No. This is I have some questions for this person. So where have you been?
I was, and you can see him sort of collecting himself, and this is an older individual. Like I said, shaved head, sort of phoenix flavor monk robes, right? Mm-hmm. And you can see him collect himself and stand up a little bit straighter. He's a fairly tall individual, probably taller than Makato. Steel himself. I was having a theological discussion with the monks.
Good.
Fortunatists have very interesting things to say these days.
I mean, as you can see, we have an interest in monks at the moment.
Yes, this is that Garino? Aren't you?
I don't know, is it?
Yes, that is good. Sorry.
How astute. Someone with your keen intellect and observational skills can surely be useful to us now.
Oh. Dragon-sama, I am but a humble monk. I have nothing to offer here. I simply met the man earlier today and had a spirited discussion, but I know little of his circumstances.
But the spirited discussion is more than we have had with this person. As in, they are now beyond our ability to converse freely with them. So
And
perhaps
Now he can tell us no lies.
One in the room
Damn
turns
it.
towards the scorpion. I truly do not know what I could tell you about this individual. As I said, I knew him for only a short time. I am here looking for Shiba Aoshi. She said that she was going to be somewhere in this temple.
So what did you talk to him about?
You see him get to himself. He sort of looks you in the eye while he thinks to himself, like, okay, you get to know that I'm thinking of something. And he sort of smiles out of the bottom half of his mouth. Oh, the things that one speaks to a monk of his, a philosopher of his stature, particularly his stance on the arrangement of the great clans was of much interest to me and the order I represent.
So you would say that they are a noted persona for their state, their position on the position of the location of the Great Clans, not the location, but the arrangement thereof.
So as a refresher for the players, I don't think I covered this on the way back in, actually, so that's my fault.
We're in the middle of the great upheaval where the clans are
clan
trying to
heresy,
determine.
or
Yeah, so he is the one that's pushing the idea that there should be five great clans, 5 great clans, one for each element.
Okay, and it's this dude that was pushing. So who's doing the pushing? The dead guy?
The dead guy.
Oh, okay.
The dead guy was doing the pushing.
So during this spirited debate, did you perhaps notice any Shigena who were around?
Oh, there were some. I mean, there are Shugenji here for the rights. Not around for the big discussion, however. So ours was more personal, one-on-one. I don't like the big theological debates. I'm not one for theatrics, like some of our fellows.
If I wasn't wearing the mask, I would blush. I want to see if I can lead him away from here to go find that person he's looking for.
And before that happens, I'm going to roll sentiment to try to weasel out any trying to figure out if their emotional state is one of being compromised, as in they know something that they're not letting on, or if they're being open and straightforward with us.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and give me a sentiment. You're trying to basically fool him into giving you stuff, giving you a sense of that, or are you trying to, like, what's the... staring at him until you decide if he's telling the truth or not? What's the plan?
Yeah, I'm trying to suss out lies or feelings, sort of thing.
Okay. All right. That seems like an error thing, but I don't know if it still is. They changed error around on me a little bit.
It's close enough. Analyze and survey are both kind of the same sort of thing. Page 94.
Okay.
Or sense is void.
I feel like
someone's under the
plus
effect of supernatural persuasion for void and sentiment.
Yeah. I feel like void's going to be either semi-mystical or like essentially magical, like Dr. House or Sherlock Holmes stuff. That feels like void stuff.
Or like,
more like Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a 2 in each of those. I'm gonna roll 4 dice.
Cool. Ugh.
That sucked.
Oh, shit. Before you, so that's one success. Is that correct?
One success and
one
one
success,
advantage.
an opportunity, and 2 strife.
Yeah.
So you're gonna re-roll that for me because I need to tell you the difficulty before you roll.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So I'm not making it up in my head after the fact.
We all need to be better at that.
Yes, sorry. I definitely need to be better at that. So We're going to call this a 2 difficulty roll. This dude is idiot, but also fairly good at not being manipulated. So go ahead and roll that for me again now that you know the difficulty and we've established it.
Okay,
See
and
how that goes.
in the old L5R, there was this bidding system of like fate points or something you could do.
You can spend void points, yes.
Yeah,
I'm
you can.
looking up what those do for you right now.
I don't know how many
think
void I
they-
have, so I'm just gonna go ahead and roll this.
Get a number
You
of
start
points
with
equal
1.
to your ring.
Void equal to void ring. Yeah, the void point adds 1 to your ring, and then which means 1. So you roll 1 extra ring die, and then you keep 1 extra die to the roll. Point does the most basic use of it, at least.
All right, well, I'm gonna hold off on that for now because I think I have 0 void, which doesn't sound right.
You'll have
you
one
should-
in every ring.
Yeah.
So you start with 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I sink 2 points into water, I have 3.
Yes.
Except I don't think you can take a ring above 2 during creation.
3 is the max during
You can,
creation.
3 is the max.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was for skills only. My bad. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and steal another one of these dice here then. How do I? Is it
Go to
token?
the-
Is button?
Go to the yeah, there you
No,
go.
it's not. It's this one.
That's a skill die.
So which one's skill? Which one's ring?
White
White
is
is-
skill.
Whoop. Wrong. Okay. That's
Well.
it. That'll do.
You've got some strife.
Sure, but I got some success too.
And a reroll if you want it. Exploder.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Well, you have to.
If you
Do you?
take the exploding die, he
Oh,
could
right.
take 2
Oh, yeah.
successes.
Yeah, you can
Good.
just not take the exploding die, but you
Well,
probably won't take the exploding die.
In getting more success in this case, is that going to help me?
Yes.
Well, you only got. Oh no.
Doesn't
Yeah,
it
I
buy
mean, I
you
think-
additional stuff?
Yeah, I think with the Kasuke investigator, you suss out more information from this guy if you take more successes.
And then opportunities get you like the fancier things. So it's like 2, so if you make a rumor, it can't be traced back to you or whatever.
Also, you're probably going to have an outburst.
Yeah.
I should probably figure that out.
Well, keep rolling if you're going to take the exploder, and then we'll get there.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to take the exploder.
Yes.
Nice.
It begins.
Then,
There we go.
Okay.
it ends.
Very quickly.
So it's
Okay.
simply 3 and 2, right?
Mhm.
All right.
And then
well,
you only have an outburst if your strife beats your composure. So I don't know what yours is.
how do I figure out composure?
It's a derived stat.
Each player has a composure value which represents the character's ability to withstand strife. And I'm not seeing where that comes from.
I will find it.
Conflict scenes.
Well, so it describes what it does, but not how you derive it.
I'm looking for it. I'm so
Yeah.
close.
Okay.
Keep going. I'll get it.
Yeah.
So what do we wind up with? 4 successes.
Yeah.
So for 4 successes, So describe to me what you're doing. Are you just like staring him down? Are you examining his garb and stance? Like, what's the plan here?
So I am taking a methodical approach to asking him all the same questions I've already asked him in slightly different ways from slightly different approaches.
Okay.
So I'm basically multi-sided attacking the concept in order to suss out truth, falsehood, attempted deception, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Like I imagine it in
Um,
Katsuki's head, or Makoto's head. This is no less of a war than a duel.
Okay. Yeah, so when you put it in those stark terms, he sort of blanches, and well, I do not know anything of these ways. I am a peaceful man and disturbed to see another monk, even one I disagreed with, be so treated and ended. But I was with the Kuni and the monks of the thousand petals, and we were discussing philosophy and theology, and I have just only come back from that to find my escort back to our place in the in the House Otomo. I know nothing of these things, and you can tell he's mostly telling the truth.
Right.
Talking about arguing with had a boy Django. When he's arguing with when he's talking about arguing with the Kuni, he's telling the truth. That's where he just came from. He was probably talking to the monks. He's also fairly drunk. Probably hasn't noticed a lot of what's going on. And he was actually looking for this what's her face? Sorry, I'm trying to keep all these either. He is actually looking for Shiba Yoshi, this person he keeps referring to essentially walk him in his drunkenness back to where they are housed without making a fool of himself.
Gotcha.
With your 4 successes, you also definitely recognize that another Shugenja clan.
It's 3 or 4, depending on how much strife Mike wants to take. Because you have 3 ring dice there.
I'm sorry, what was the Shigenin comment?
Sorry. With the successes you have gathered, the other name he dropped, the Kuni, is a clan, and could possibly be responsible for the fire.
Sure. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'll definitely take all of the success to get as much information as possible.
Okay.
So I think that sets you up at 7 strife.
Right. And so I'm trying to figure out what outburst that I have. And no matter the outburst the player chooses, there should be narrative consequences, usually both for good and for ill. Interesting.
Well, there's the one that you made during creation, and then there's 5 suggested ones that are on page 17.
What are the 5 suggested ones? I see compromise, expose weakness, and
compromise or flee. Yeah, compromise, expose weakness, become enraged, shut down, or inappropriate remark.
I have been reading this entire book wrong.
Oh, the columns?
Yeah.
It is laid out weird.
It's a beta rulebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those or something more related to the specific one you made during character creation are what are suggested.
Wow. Lose 3 glory.
Yeah, that's the one I picked.
How does your character react to stressful situations? Goes silent, sullen, and plots a murder.
So the scorpion never goes quiet. Just be ready.
So I have we've got that dark secret.
Yeah, you and I have a dark secret. Or I have blackmail on you and you have blackmail on me, and so we decided that we have an unspecified dark secret that we share.
Mutually assured shame.
Yeah.
Do let some hint of that spill to this phoenix?
Like
why is everyone taking the outburst out on me?
well, it was like what is the Rokugani equivalent of slapping someone when you're pissed off at them? Not like
I think it's slapping someone.
Well, no, I think physically they don't like that. If you were a crab or maybe a lion, probably the dragon equivalent is probably just like
insult.
Yeah, it's a sharp glare.
Like a
or
good
something.
zinger.
You clearly make fun of the fact that he can't hold his liquor.
Right. Something along the lines of, well, if this is the best the Phoenix Clan has to offer us, then it's obvious that, they should be rolled up with the other minor clans and cast aside, sort of thing.
Or,
yeah.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
that'll
think
count.
a dragon would say to a phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
maybe next time, remember the honor of your house when consuming your hosts offered beverages.
Something. No wonder the Agasha left you. Something.
Oh.
Yeah, what Django said, because I know L5R lore, yo.
Django's our hype man, hype lady.
Yeah.
Just wait. The first time Sedane comes out, I'm fucking there.
This entire
Django is a
campaign
fetish.
is actually a Knight's Tale with Django as Shakespeare for us.
Yeah.
And
See, I was-
the two
And miss
of us
my
just have no idea
introduction.
what's going on.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, he sort of looks at you and gives you this look like, if I wasn't drunk right now, there would probably be an exchange of words. But I am.
Can I take him by the arm and just let's go find your friend, sort of thing?
Okay. Yeah, you can rescue him from the situation.
Yeah.
So you take him by the arm and you walk out. I assume
Well,
you're leaving?
I also call the guard that I'm slowly corrupting to be like, okay, where the hell is this person?
Okay, yeah, the guard will sort of shuffle over next to you, and then glance back at the other two samurai that are still in the room, like, I'm not sure I can leave them. But about the
It's
moment
fine.
you get to the doorway, anyway, it opens, or a young female strides up and yes, Asako-sama. Good, I have found you. And she bows, and then she bows to the scorpion while not dropping her eyes at all, just sort of down. Oh, good.
Is she from a
good.
great clan or anything?
Phoenix.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
Phoenix.
Okay.
She's Phoenix. This is very likely if it's a Phoenix carrying a sword, it's almost certainly a Shiba.
Yeah.
So this is probably who he was talking about.
Okay. So yeah, I return the bow, but I'm 2 degrees less deep.
As is appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent, Scorpion-san. Asako-san, we should return to the housing. There's been an uproar, and we should be safely in our places. And she goes to sort of take the arm of the elderly drunken man.
I'm going to definitely follow them.
Well, as they start moving through the courtyard, you now that you're outside, you can hear more distinctly the sort of argument that was going on.
Mhm.
And what you see is a sort of dispersed cloud of Otomo guardsmen
Okay.
around what seems to be a small group of lion that are yelling at a small group of crane.
Good. I am going to go help defuse this conflict.
Awesome. So, what are you guys doing that are inside? I know that Makoto had a guard that was supposed to be coming back with the monks. They've not returned yet.
Have we devolved to bickering because we're too stressed out?
I was about to say, Django's probably not doing much more until she cools a little bit.
All right. You guys can sit in there and vent about how terrible the scorpion is.
Is this a
To each
scene
other?
change? Also, yeah, I'm very okay with that. Just
You
because
guys can do that for a little while. Yeah.
I read his fortune earlier. He is such a bitch.
I mean, where's the lie though?
Yeah, so you guys can spend a couple minutes in there, and you can call it a scene change and get your composure back
Alright.
before you step out into the.
Yay, back to 0.
You have. Oh, okay.
So for choosing that particular outburst, it takes me down to half of my composure, which is 3.
Yep.
And then I receive water reduction, which mine is 3.
Good lord.
That is pretty efficient.
I'm efficient with my emotions. I process them. They're done. very very zen. Let him go through me.
It's-
You just
This
get
is
him
the
out on the
Rokugani-
nearby scorpion.
Rokugani equivalent of the primal scream therapy, and just like shout it into the scorpion's face, and then you're done.
5-second hate. 5-second hate. I'm done.
Literally, that's why the scorpion exists, though.
It's true. Like
So-
that's the scorpion's job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're an anger magnet.
I'm okay
Yeah.
with it.
All right, so
So
you
she's
guys are doing that.
So she is literally all about the scorpion's role as the loyal villain. So
So Soshi outside, the Shiba and the Asako are attempting to skirt this engagement that's going on. There are a white-haired doji courtier,
Mhm.
and an old, tough-looking crane.
okay,
Probably a Daidoji by his dress. The Daidoji are like the guerrilla fighters of the crane.
Okay.
They're the hard guys. This one's in like his late 50s or early 60s. So for this game, he's ancient.
the
And,
crane do like sword duels well, right?
super well.
Incredibly well.
Yeah, like
Super
that's their thing. They don't do open warfare, but they will duel a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cranes is carrying a sword, however.
Okay.
This looks like probably the doji is clearly the envoy, and this older one might be an advisor of some sort. And the doji is currently in the sort of behind the fan, but still very, very imperious way, in an argument with a large, muscular, but also somewhat over the hill.
Mhm.
By her massive mane of red hair, lion, who is herself backed by a tall dude who he sort of looks like a toothpick with an olive in the middle.
Mhm.
Right? He's very tall, but he's got this big belly, and that's the legends about the old Otomo, like the original Otomo from. That's how they described him. That's got to be an Otomo historian of some sort, who is probably an advisor to the Matsu.
Okay.
The Matsu is carrying a sword. How good are you at current events or military knowledge things?
I would like to think I'm good at them. I don't know that I have any dice to reflect that.
Well, yeah, you're some sort of spy master, right?
Right.
If I recall correctly.
Yes. Yeah, that my former job was I was a spy master to someone that I didn't come up with a name with, so I came up with the name Hank Scorpion.
Yes, I remember that. You're Hank Scorpion. Can you give me a skill to roll? Know about one or both of these individuals engaged in this fight, or this argument.
Would it be courtesy? It's probably something I don't have. Like
Okay.
the only scholar skill that I have, because this seems like it would be like either government or culture, maybe.
Okay.
And like the closest I have to that is theology. So I mean,
Probably not theology.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, this you don't recognize either of them.
I mean,
Who's who is definitely government.
would courtesy? So I know how to greet them. So like I might know about their houses,
Yeah.
but not them specifically.
Yeah. You can give me a courtesy roll.
Okay.
Give me a courtesy roll.
Sweet, got there.
Are you being tricksy? Is this an air courtesy roll?
Obviously. So my courtesy is +2. So I take these dice.
All right. So give me give me a. Ow.
I think courtesy is bluffing that you know who they are.
Yeah.
Courtesy is properly addressing them without knowing the actual specifics.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh fuck! I
that's a lot
didn't
of
wait for the difficulty.
Well, I'm looking at least 4 successes there.
Yes.
You can just cash those in if you want, or
Yeah.
'cause I'm
I
gonna
think the
guess,
3 I'm
like-
gonna keep is gonna be the 2 exploding, but I'm gonna keep just 1 normal success and not take Infinity Strife.
Okay. Do you want to re-roll those? I'm going to say that like you've just now hit the barrier for getting into this conversation without getting laughed out,
Yeah.
or um,
I'll re-roll these
3 is
two.
probably the baseline for that. So if you want to give those a re-roll and see what you get above that,
Good. So that's 4 successes
Jesus,
and 2
guys,
strife.
we have to not do that
Okay.
anymore. Seriously, no, I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. I can totally run a murder mystery where you know everyone and can convince everyone that everyone else is guilty.
Yeah.
That's totally a thing that we can do.
Right.
Right.
That's what I'm going for. So 4 successes and 2 strife.
All right, 4 successes and 2 strife. All right, so 4 is one above probably where you ought to be. So, let
And
me
no
sort of
opportunity.
set
This is
yeah, no opportunities are not showing up for some reason. All right, so let me sort of set the scene for you. The Matsu is sort of pacing, like they do, and sort of shouting angrily but definitely forcefully at the doji. Clearly, this is some sort of crane plot. There's knows that you are against you've been against Gorino from the beginning. You have been here so that you can pass this off as the work of someone else, but I know it was you, Crane. And then the doji is sort of just sitting there fanning herself because they always have a fan. It's always a fan.
especially if they're crane. I imagine it's like peacock feathers or something because crane.
I mean, usually they're always drawn as like having super white fans, like
Okay.
pale white fans. Oh please, you know that if it was the crane, we would have just dishonored him and let him to die in a ditch somewhere. No, this was not us, clearly. And you can see like the old man standing next to the crane is like staring daggers at the old man standing next to the lion,
Yeah.
who was sort of laughing about the whole thing. And the guards are all pacing, are all standing at like half active attention because they know that lion crane can get bad real fast, and only one of these people has a sword, and she clearly wants to use it. So yeah, that's the situation you are putting yourself into.
I would like to find the nearest can of gasoline and just pour it on this smoldering blaze.
Walk up. Both the Matsu and the
I'm also
the
like
doji.
introducing myself in an incredibly obsequious manner.
So the two primary sort of actors look at you, and the crane sort of rolls her eyes and waits for you to finish, and the Matsu is sort of like, if they wore watches in Rokugan, would sort of be tapping it.
Yeah. Well, and like I'm bordering on parody with how polite I'm being because it's a parody how polite I'm being.
Exactly. The Daidoji sort of the old man on the crane side turns and looks at you, and you can tell that this is an individual. He's got gray hair. He's sort of, when he moves with a limp.
Yep.
But like, this dude used to be super hard. If he's not currently, then he was.
Yeah.
And even being this close to him, apparently unarmed, makes you a little nervous.
I'm an incredibly fragile human.
The old man on the other side is just sort of like, during your entire, like, all minute and a half of your announcement of who you are, is sort of chuckling to himself, and sort of like he's over and he's elbowing one of the guards and pointing at you.
Yeah.
Like, look at this guy. And about the time you finish your big flowery introduction, the doji and the Amatsu both turn on you, and the doji's looking over your fan and sort of looks at the Matsu and looks back. Oh, right here. Well, clearly we're not suspect number one any longer. And the Matsu, well, yes, can agree on something.
I'm always glad to help bring clans together. But unfortunately, I cannot be the perpetrator of any of these heinous crimes, for I have only just arrived, apparently slightly ahead of representatives from clans Unicorn and Dragon as well. Deepest apologies for the disappointment, but I believe I heard something about dull blades and dying in ditches, so forgive me for interrupting. And I again bow all the way down to my ankles.
Oh, I'm sure you could have found some way to have done this. I mean, it's always the Scorpion. And the Matsu sort of looks at you and looks at the doji. And like abruptly, and all the guards startle.
Yeah.
And Otomo is with her. It's like, should leave. There is no purchase to be found here with these. And she looks sort of scans through you into the crane crowd. These sorts. And they wander off. They walk off in sort of a. She's in a huff, moving fairly quickly, and the old man sort of trailing behind her.
Yeah.
Had a fairly good clip for an old dude. To somewhere far off with like a handful of guards sort of falling in behind them and walking them away.
So now that it's just, the social houses left, I'm going to see if I can continue a conversation or commence a conversation with at least someone from the Crane clan and basically offer forth all of the evidence that I have that this is clearly a Phoenix plot. They have a Shugenja here. There was clearly a murder done with magical fire, and just see if I can't add enough information with enough spin on it that they believe it is Clan Phoenix.
Okay. Why don't you give me? I think lying is still sincerity. Is that correct?
I believe so.
I think so, yeah.
Give me that sounds like air sincerity, probably.
Sincerity isn't a skill.
Yeah.
I can give you courtesy.
Maybe.
I'm good at courtesy. I can give you
Courtesy
design because it's a well-crafted lie.
Courtesy represents a character's ability to influence others' opinions, persuade others to a course of action, outmaneuver their opponents, win arguments, steer a conversation, and deliver cunning put-downs. All without being called out on it, essentially.
I could also do
that...
void, which is enlighten.
Well, I mean, are you lying or are you trying to put them on the right path?
I'm giving them incredibly specific information presented in an incredibly specific way. I don't know that I'm lying. I don't know that I'm being honest.
So you're somewhere in the middle. You're just asking questions.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
Asking questions.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I'm not a good person. Keep up.
No, but Rush Limbaugh Scorpion wrote Johnny.
Mm-hmm, exactly. You were the alt Scorpion.
God. Well, I can't swim, so
it's true. So give me. I mean, I think either probably air or void works in this case.
Let's do void. Just because it's different, but it's the exact same roll. Oh boy.
Good God. Also, I didn't give you a difficulty, but I'm pretty sure you beat it.
Yeah. I'm going to take 2 opportunity and 2 successes, probably.
Okay. And 3 6. Oh, it is 0 and 3. Yeah, 2 opportunity, 2 successes. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are your opportunity options on that?
I believe I can start rumors and with 2 up. So I've got a move specifically, actually, which is.
Cool, of course.
One of the moves. Where did it go? It's one of the social spells, basically.
Yeah. The Shijo, or what are those called?
Something like that. Techniques. Shuji? Yeah. It is the rustling of leaves. When you make a social skill to create or propagate a rumor, you may spend opportunity.
Okay.
So increase the target number of any check to trace the rumor back to you by 2 per opportunity spent this way.
So the difficulty is going. Do you want to spend both of them that way?
Yeah.
So it'll be at least 4 plus the 1 base is 5 to track it back to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So what is the rumor that you want to start, and then we'll play this out.
That it's obviously a Phoenix Witch that did this, and you can't trust Shugenja and the Phoenix.
Okay.
The Phoenices are
Phoenices.
clearly wish to supplant the other like avian house.
Okay.
Is kind of that's the Crane specific angle, but like that it's a Phoenix thing that did this.
Okay. Yeah, and you can tell that they are receptive to this. They may be based on your number of successes here. The Crane may be looking for someone to blame.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, again, they along with the Scorpion are the ones that are fighting the hardest against this whole thing. So yeah, she's very receptive, and you can see her sort of make eye contact with the Daidoji, the old man, a few times. Like maybe this guy's got a fairly good point. And about halfway through your explanation of the evidence, a third Crane sort of wanders out of the now darkness. This guy's wearing a sword and looks like a badass.
Okay.
This is clearly some sort of Crane duelist, probably here as the Yojimbo for the Doji.
Okay.
Him make eye contact with the old guy and with the Doji as they're listening to you. He nods to you in a fairly deferential way for being someone who could kill you instantly with a thought. And lets you finish, and then sort of take a moment to process. And then he looks at you and is still sort of fanning herself. Of who you would cast blame in this case, Scorpion-san. The Phoenix Shugenja that is in attendance is no small matter.
I'm just asking questions.
They are here to oversee the burial. It would be quite something if the Oracle of Fire were to have killed the heretic of the 5 rings, would it not?
I think I feign maybe my mask drops on purpose, but I'm like oh, and the mask drops down to show the authentic surprise, and then I quickly fix it. And terribly sorry for that shameful display.
Oh yes. We must take our leave, but I will consider what you have said. Perhaps you should enlighten the lion with it as well. They might be interested in your theories.
I bow deeply, and I might try just that. Thank you for your time.
The Doji bows, not quite as deeply as you do.
Well, yeah.
The Kakita does not take his eyes off you as he bows, and the Doji the Daidoji, the old man. Yeah, just sort of does a hand motion and walks off behind them.
Yeah.
Because he's done with this crap. Yeah, and then your 2 compatriots emerge from the tent behind you. Having had their primal scream moment. At this point that the guard that got sent off earlier wanders up with a handful of monks. Katsuke-san, I have scoured the grounds and found the monks who were in attendance at the time of the unfortunate events. And he bows to you, and the monks behind him all sort of do their monk fall into step bow thing. What are Jongo and Makato doing? You guys just came out of the temple area, having recovered your strife.
We're finally composed now.
Yes.
I like how both of the people that freaked out heal 3 strife between scenes.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Like we planned that or something. I mean, I'm assuming we know. No, sorry, go ahead.
I just like my character, the mental image of my character, like just a house that a doctor house that slaps people as opposed and then like walks off. Sorry. You were saying John goes on.
I'm assuming that we know like nothing of anything
Sama.
of that Scorpion. It's just
Yeah.
So you
the
just kind
monks
of look
did
them.
Sorry, go ahead.
I would just kind of look at Makoto and was like, "You are the knowledgeable one in these matters. Do you know what our next move should be?"
I mean, we gather information, figure out who's lying, get them to confess effectively. We would like hard evidence of what happened here. We can clearly state that some superhuman force was used to murder this monk, along with the use of magic. So finding someone else as well versed in the arts as you are would help us narrow down the suspect pool. There are
Lead on then.
Well, we only know of the one Phoenix. There was a Phoenix Shigena here, right? Somebody mentioned one.
Yeah. That was the lady who picked up the drunk monk.
Right.
Oh.
Was there any Ichiro? You have Ichiro-kun. You have the ability to you have knowledge of what else is going around here. Surely you've picked up all of the sordid details of who's who in the short time you were outside of our site.
I believe you do me too much credit, for I am simply a humble Scorpion artisan, and I don't have the vast mental capacities that either Kitsuki-san or Yuchi-chan would have. So my deepest apologies for being less apt than either of you, both physically and mentally.
I am disappointed that you can't craft me a better explanation.
Well, if you hold still, I can design something with 2 skill dice.
Oh, are you Garak from Deep Space Nine?
Yes.
Fuck.
I mean, I didn't mean to be, but yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm Garrick.
I'm only midway through season 2,
Okay.
so and it's very exciting.
Right.
So we've got all these monks, right? Oh,
The monks have wandered up.
I'm still processing how Garrick I am.
Well,
I'm like the shamed son of a like famous house, and like I used to be somebody or supposed to be somebody, and then I fucked up in a big. Yeah, no, sorry, I'm just gonna be over here processing that.
Maybe you should like interview all of these monks, Chiro-san, Kun, and get all the information that we need for. I guess that I need actually useful information, so that won't do anything good.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to interview all the monks, which effectively takes me out of the scene, I think.
I mean, yeah, we can start bouncing around a little bit now. Makoto can start talking to these monks, and we can do that as well. Are you guys splitting up? Is somebody going with Makoto? What is?
I'm wandering off.
Yeah, I'd like Django to stick with Ichiro, and
I was going to head that way anyway, just because Django feels a slight need to apologize for the last interaction that the two had.
Well,
I'm going to where the lions are at, so...
Can you round up all the magic users and bring them here while I speak to each monk about their fastidiousness in the last 24 hours?
Oh, yes. Accuse me of being a Maho, then ask me to round up all the magic users. I see where this is going.
Well, of course.
Straight to Dragon Age circles.
Yeah, final
Maho.
solution time, guys.
Yeah, a true Maho would be able to suss out all the other magic users. And if you're not a true Maho, then what use are you?
Blood begets blood. I see. Yeah, I'm gonna go find Ichiro, because Ichiro is probably around the interesting people.
Okay. So just to recap, Ichiro, are you headed to see anyone in particular?
I'm gonna see who the lions will let me talk to, because I'm guessing that is a limited subset of them.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll cover that in a second. The lions are probably going to be back towards sort of the visitor area, like the guest area of the encampment, the compound. Go back to that in a second. Makoto, your interviews with the monks. Go ahead. Can you? So do you take them into do you take them in to show them the scene and then grill them? Do you put them in a room together and ask them questions en masse? Do you?
I put them all into a waiting room, and I bring them in one at a time, and I send them out another exit, and I make it clear that I'm asking them questions and grilling them about a thing, but not telling them what, and letting them all stew. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's the temples have plenty of rooms. You probably like stash them in a room with like a little waterfall and a fountain with a growing out of it, and then there's probably a monk's cell or something you can do the actual grilling in. There's probably not quite a dozen, probably 9-10 of these guys, and they're all male. Up. Why don't you? We're gonna call it a difficulty 2 check to find out anything new, probably. Why don't you find something and give me a roll?
So I am. Did you propose a skill that I missed, or am I going to propose?
No, I have not yet. I am doubting myself on what the skills are now.
They are all totally different than what they were, which is slightly frustrating.
They're all so. If you go to the character sheet, it actually lists them all in a pretty nice way. And then it also gives you the approaches by ring.
So government includes the domains of bureaucracy, law, logistics, and warfare, which seems a little broad.
That's broad. I mean, this is also a beta, and they're going to refine all this, but
right.
Yeah.
But like, finding a contradiction or loophole in a system or law, assessing a political opponent's strengths and weaknesses, studying a system in detail to find the place where pressure can be applied to get specific results. That sounds like what I'm looking for.
You're looking to essentially like wedge the monks into telling you different stories and figure out who's lying to you and what that means.
Right. This is the brute force attack on the cryptography of monk.
Monk brains. You're trying to decode the monk brain. Great. Yeah. And these are not people who are used to being like bad copped at. So good. That all sounds like it works.
I forgot to wait for a value.
I told you two.
Oh, you told me
I made sure. Yes. I made sure to lead with it this time because I know our way now.
Yeah. All right, so I'm keeping the explosive success. So currently I'm at 2 with 1 strife. I have to reroll that. So now I'm at 3 with 2 strife, and now I'm at 4 with 3 strife.
Okay,
so that's a 4 success and 3 strife.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 successes is significant. Okay, so comes in and you sort of get the story, right? The baseline story from this guy. Some of the clan monks came with their respective clans. Specifically, there was a Kuni that came from the Crab, Sako that came from the Phoenix, and then the Phoenix Shugenja. That is not a Shiba. It's have all been sort of in the monastery, essentially arguing amongst themselves and with the Thousand Petal monks, who are slightly more combative, sort of, or slightly more aggressive and willing to theologically defend themselves. 5 Rings heresy and various things. The monks that have been rounded up are the sort of under monks, so they kind of just tried to stay out of it. But the story you definitely get is that the Kuni and the Asako specifically have been like yelling at each other and they've been here, and then occasionally Gorino would show up and they would yell, and then they would leave and all yell. They could hear them yelling like inside the main temple where you found Gorino. But there's basically been very spirited theological debate amongst those three individuals. Let me make sure that's it. Since they got here. And the Isawa, the Oracle of Fire has also been doing some of this. Yeah.
Okay, so Kuni, Asako, and Asawa are the three living members of the spirited debate.
Gorino is the name of the monk, not the dead monk. Not that it matters much.
Not Grunbeld, not the
Grunbeld.
German knight. Okay,
Grunbeld.
Right.
That'd be like, I mean, there is a disadvantage you can take that gives you a weirdo foreign name. That'd be a really weird thing for the Oracle of Fire to be named.
Yeah.
Be Grunbeld.
Alas, poor Grendel. We knew him.
Right. I guess Grunwald is even more dramatic. Okay. So then, thank you all for your service. Go back to sweeping temples or whatever as the monks do. And I'll go track down the killer. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely, very happy to help. And he sort of moves, not turning his back to you, but definitely
of course
trying to
not.
get out of the room as fast as he can.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one comes in, and you get the same basic story. When you push, you get a little bit more embellishment. The Asako likes apparently to drink and had the monks. Alcohol's not usually allowed in the temples, but they made an exception for this guy, because he's fairly important, and that's what you do for major clan monks. However, will not touch the stuff, and that was part of what their argument was about. That the Asako was like defiling the temple. The Isawa, the Oracle of Fire, who's also a phoenix, has also gotten on the Asako about the drinking because it's unbecoming a great clan. They need to be more proper with their behaviors. But the Asako mostly just like flips that guy, the Rokugani monk equivalent of the bird, and tells him to, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mind his own business. So yeah, that's what you get from the second one. And then that kind of, you sort of build that sort of understanding for a while. And then sort of the last guy is in there, and you know what you're looking for. You've had all these guys come in, and all these monks come in and tell you their stories. And tells you that temple the entire time at one point the Isawa just it was the Isawa, the Asako, and the Kuni that were all arguing in the temple, on the temple grounds, and then this monk saw the Isawa, the Oracle of Fire, storm off after an exchange and disappear. Returned, and at that point the guards came and got them. He tells you that the others had sort of, the Asaka was the only one that was always there because he was just liked drinking beneath like the peach tree or whatever. Came and went, but specifically he remembers the Isawa stormed off because he's a very hot-tempered individual. He's very strong in fire. It dominates his personality somewhat, and he apparently
that's
came
Gorino,
over
right?
the argument. What?
Isawa Gorino?
No.
Isawa Gorino is the dead one.
Right.
Isawa, the Isawa monk, or the Isawa Shugenja, I should say, is the Oracle of Fire and was also here overseeing the burial, cremation.
Okay, so the dead monk is not the Oracle of Fire, which is what I thought. Okay.
Sorry, the dead monk is not the Oracle of Fire.
I'm guessing Oracle of Fire is a big fancy title, and I think it's currently held by a Phoenix.
Yes, well, the Phoenix clan has 5 oracles.
Oh, okay.
Their elemental council.
There's one for each element.
Yeah.
Void or the Oracle of Fire is generally considered to be the most important one. In this case, since we're in the period where the Rokugani started burning their dead, they started cremating because they didn't want them coming back as zombies. That means that in this period, the Oracle of Fire is helping establish the protocols for burning really important people in respectful ways. And so that's why they're here, kind of.
All right, so I got 2 good names. Akuni or the Kuni, the Asako and Asawa, right?
Yeah, and Asako is the old drunk man that burst into the temple earlier.
And then the person who came and rescued him is Kuni?
Shiba.
Okay.
Who's not around in this discussion.
Yeah, so just for ease of reference, I decided there's only going to be one member of any given family. Okay. So there's only one Kuni, there's only one Doji, there's only one Asako, there's only one Shiba.
Yeah.
Because I tried mocking it up a different way, and it was impossible to keep track of.
Yeah, it's not good.
So yeah, that's what you learned from the monks. Seems fairly useful. Let's jump over to Ichiro and Django. Ichiro, you guys went looking for the... Okay, so I heard 2 different things. One, we were going to go look for the lion.
Yep.
We were going to go look for Shugenja.
Well, I mean, I don't care what Yuji has to say to me. Or, quite frankly, what Makoto is brewing in the background, because, I mean, she's weird for dragons, and Jongu Yuchi is weird for unicorns. And, I mean, I can't pin this on either of them.
It's true.
So if I can get, the crane to murder the phoenix, and if I can get the lions to murder the crane, then I'm pretty sure I come out of this smelling like roses.
All right, so you're gonna go look to start a fight somewhere.
Yes.
Django, Yuchi-san, where are you headed? Are you keeping an eye on Ichiro?
I'm also not hard to find. I don't move too quick.
Well, yeah, the thing about that is my original intent was find Ichiro and try and make amends. And I realized that I was probably cooling down for a little while, so I don't even know where Ichiro is. So I might get lost. I don't know, how big is this estate?
It's pretty big.
All right. So I'll probably attempt to find Ichiro and then kind of get lost and give up and just see. I kind of let my internal sense just tell me where to go.
Okay.
Let the void guide me here.
All right. Let's. Okay. First, then we'll go back to Django. Ichiro, the most obvious place to start looking for the crane. There are hospitality quarters. There's sort of not really a drinking joint, but sort of a drinking joint.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of compound rooms for people. This is where we put this delegation. This is where we put this delegation. And they're all sort of on one big courtyard.
Okay.
There-ish. And if you go looking, you can see that the hospitality area is open, and there are people in it. There are a bunch of minor clans and Imperials around, the Otomos around, but the people that are actually sitting and drinking and eating and that kind of thing are the major clans. And there's the lion are sort of off in one corner, and then the crane are sort of nested on one side with extra pillows somehow. You don't know how they got them, but they got them.
I mean, I assumed they have a Shugenja who just manifests them from the ether.
Well, you haven't noticed a Shugenja. No one in the crane party is obviously a Shugenja.
Yeah.
So, and usually the crane are like, yeah, no, we totally got a Shugenja, you guys.
Yeah.
Because they like pulling that sort of thing. There are two other groups that are in the bar right now. There's one other group, but it's composed of crab and mantis.
Oh, good.
There are a couple of crabs.
Oh, the mantis.
And one mantis.
I do not notice the mantis. They are invisible to me.
The crab and the mantis. One of the crabs and the mantis you don't see are a male crab and a female mantis are sort of sitting on opposite sides of sort of a table, and they're drinking, and they are somewhat animatedly in their way.
Yep.
Because crab and mantis are sort of cousins.
Yeah.
That's something that they're both entertained by, and then a third crab, a fairly large-looking female bushi, severe-looking female bushi, is knelt along the other side of this table and sort of just keeping watch, and definitely keeping an eye on the crane.
Yeah.
She doesn't want the crane to come anywhere near them.
So,
You wander into. Servants are bustling from table to table. Yeah.
So this is something that my character would probably know a lot better than Andrew does. Like, if I got a random lion and random crane, like low-ranking junior-ass members, to like get into a duel, I'm assuming that would shift a healthy quantity of distrust onto the crane from the lion.
That's what they do for breakfast every day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that would significantly change the active social dynamics.
This is why I'm asking.
Crane and lion fight.
Okay.
They just do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So having a crane duel a lion, I mean, if you could arrange it to where that was somehow like because remember, criminal justice in Rokugan is accuse a person, duel a person, win, that person was clearly guilty.
Yes.
Like it's sword fighting, but also witch trials.
Yeah.
So if you can make it about the thing,
witch trial by combat.
And if you had the lion win over the crane, that would be pretty entertaining.
I mean, I think the lion would just take that in stride, though, and what the end result I want here is that the lion suspect the crane and the crane suspect the phoenix, and just like all of them sort of lose face out of this. Like I want each of their houses to get the burn after reading style outro, where it's just like, what did we learn? Not to do this fucking thing again.
Okay. Well, okay. The other thing you sort of notice is that that wandered up sort of at the end of your talk.
Mm-hmm.
He's not here. It's just the old guy in the doji again.
Okay, so the Yojimbo's off somewhere.
The Yojimbo's off somewhere else.
Okay.
Who do you approach? Who do you think is you still haven't met the crab or the mantis, and as soon as you walk in, the crab, the bushi crab is giving you the stink eye.
Yes.
Like,
no, I'm probably going to go introduce myself to her. And like if buying drinks is a thing, then I will definitely buy her next round, just as a sign of respect.
Okay.
And then probably see if I can't make small talk and like see if there's any information, like, because you said she was suspicious of the crane.
Yes.
So I mean, like, is that just because crab hate crane because crane talk and crab smash?
I mean,
well, they hate each other. Part of it is that. Part of it is also there was a family that defected from the crane to the crab.
Okay.
Yup. Yeah, they share a border.
Yeah.
And there was specifically the Yasuki. And
they're like, we don't like talking.
No,
with your spy knowledge senses, the crab that's not the bushi is a Yasuki.
Okay.
He is one of the carp family that used to be a crane.
Yep.
But that conflict's a long ways gone. But
Yeah.
the crab, she doesn't trust the crane because she doesn't trust the crane, essentially. And she figures if the lion are coming at him, they're coming at him like in the open, whereas the crane probably are not.
Okay. So then I probably just
you
bow to her. I don't know that I would go out of my way to make introductions.
Okay. She sort of looks at you over the table with the Yasuki and the mantis still like jawing away at each other on either side.
Yep.
She just sort of look at you and nod and actually wave to the pillow across from her for you to sit down if you would like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the kind of scraping sycophant that will never reject an invitation. So I absolutely do.
Okay. She raises a big hand and sort of flags down some member of the waitstaff and pour a couple of tiny cups of sake. And they do a round for the whole table.
Yep.
And the two on the outside sort of nod and acknowledge your presence. And the big crab is just sort of looking at you.
Okay.
Crane-san or Scorpion-san, it is good to see someone here who is not Crane.
I probably like Crab-chan. I could not agree more. Something like Crab-sama. Yeah.
She'll take your toast and throw back.
Yeah.
And the two on the outside sort of laugh. And they all introduce themselves. And like I said, you're looking at a Yasuki. The big one's a Hida. A warrior family. And then the mantis is, let me check real quick to make sure I'm not screwing this up. Otomo, which is the
Wait, Moritomo? Good.
Yoritomo.
Okay.
Yoritomo.
Yep.
Corner of your ears, they don't stop talking, and they're talking about like trade and business and like sea routes to get rice from crablands to the Mantis Islands, and like they're working business right now.
Yeah.
They're using this as a networking opportunity.
Yeah.
The big one is sort of watching the room, clearly in like full Yojimbo mode. She's sort of like watching you out of the corner of her eye while keeping a much stronger eye on the other two clans that are in the room.
Yeah.
And she's waving for another drink. The Otomo say that you got here just after the unpleasantness.
Yes, murder is rather unpleasant, but thankfully, myself, and I like probably roll my eyes as I'm like, and a unicorn and a dragon are above suspicion, which I must say is a novelty for me at least.
Yes, that would put you in an unusual state for one of your sort. She takes another drink.
Oh, and yeah, no, that's why I'm here. Yeah. Like, so, have you heard anything about any particular details? It seems to be a ghastly murder. By my reckoning, the only person capable would be some kind of Shugenja. Wasn't martial skill that won that day; it was magical.
Oh, that is.
And then, like, the cranes suspect the Oracle of Fire of all the things. And then, like, I probably the Oracle of, and then stop myself. Like, I shouldn't spread rumors. That would be.
She gives you a laugh, and she sort of gives you a knowing nod. Like, yes, I imagine the crane do such things. Have you seen? And then you have seen the aftermath.
Yes, personally, it was terrible.
And it was.
Wait, has she seen the aftermath?
She is not.
Okay.
She is not. You guys, you three were the only ones sort of let in there after the scene was discovered.
Yeah.
If someone has seen it, that it's not you or the Asako.
Yeah.
Um,
Did the
probably
Shiba?
not a great sign for them. No, the Shiba met you outside. If she
Okay.
caught a glimpse of it, it was very limited.
Okay.
All right, so you've established contact with the crab.
Yep.
Jongo.
Yes.
All right. So you were going to go look for Ichiro?
I was, and then I probably realized that I didn't know where the hell I was going because it had been some time since I had seen Ichiro. So I was just kind of gonna wonder and let the spirits kind of decide where I end up.
Okay, that's interesting. There are other games where I tell you to make me a fortune roll. I don't know if that exists in this case.
I'm sure I could just roll random dice for you, and you can take that as you will. I'm happy to do that.
Throw me some void.
Oh shit. Do you want a skill? Is there an applicable skill?
Do you want my void?
I have 2 void.
Okay.
An applicable skill.
I have meditation.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess if you're like just sort of wondering and letting the spirit take you, yeah, sure.
Be one
Meditation
with the
void.
moment. I love it.
Void seems like a good way to catch some inspiration from the spirits here.
It's a good catch-all. Plus, I have the existing dice template here, so that's also
That's what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Work? What the hell? There we
Never. It will never work.
go. So I got 2 successes and an opportunity. If I'm reading that right. It didn't show up in the side feed over here, which is weird. But I'm just looking at the dice pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just rolled on the table. Okay.
That was weird.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll take
2
that.
successes
Sure.
and an opportunity. All right.
How do I spend an opportunity on being lucky?
All right. Well, I will tell you this. So, as you are sort of walking to find Hero, you're passing through this courtyard that's in the middle of the guest compound, essentially, right? Off, sort of in the distance, flitting from shadow to shadow, almost. Not super stealthily.
All right.
But maybe like an attempt to not be actively noticed.
Okay.
Over there, and it kind of looks like a big crane.
Oh, good.
All right. So, do I notice this big crane noticing me, or are they just completely focused on their sneaking mission?
I will let you either spend your advantage to not be noticed, or to see something else at the same time.
Ooh.
Oh, the boat's a boat, but the box could be anything.
Could even be a boat.
Even be a boat. Shit. I'm a sucker. I'll take the box.
Okay.
Give me the box.
So you want to see the thing?
Yeah.
So the other thing that you see is under a grove of decorative cherry trees in the dark, in the moonlight, you see another dark form, fairly small, but they're standing sort of in the shadow of the cherry trees, path of where you assume this big crane that you saw specifically is going. At that point, you have stepped out into the moonlight, and the crane sort of melts into a building. Is no longer moving that direction.
So small is in like just a small person small, or
small is in like
small?
Probably an adult female, or old person who's bent over. Like it's not like it's not Bushi sized. Like the big buff fighter people. This is not. It is a smaller person than that.
Okay, so I've lost the crane. Have I
The
lost?
crane. Well, you can probably go find the crane. The crane just like went into a guest building,
And you know
but
who
they're
the
no
crane
longer
is.
moving through the courtyard.
It's true. And I don't know where this other person. Did they melt? They disappeared into the shadows.
No, they have not seen you yet. They are still standing under the cherry trees. I'm attempting to hide, but very poorly. Doing so very poorly.
I'm gonna go talk to that person.
Okay.
Get stabbed.
Yes. Well, Django, roll me up a new character.
Sweet, that was fast.
Okay, so you make your way across the courtyard. What sort of footwear does a weirdo for a unicorn wear? Like, are you making noise on the cobblestones?
Cowboy boots with spurs.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, right? It's
Jingle,
like
jangle.
some sort of hard-soled boot. Like,
Well, no,
what-
I think that she already looks like a gaijin. She doesn't need to dress like one, especially if she's trying to be like respectful,
Fair.
representative of the clan. So I think she has those like wrapped monk slippers, like the
Okay.
binding that kind of spirals up the leg
Okay. Okay, so you're probably pretty quiet then, huh?
a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. So are you attempting to be stealthy on your approach? Or
This time, I think I am. I'm not trained in that skill, whatever it
That's
is.
okay. Give me some sort of roll though. That seems awesome. That seems like a skullduggery.
I do not have that.
I-
I have nothing practical, which is design. So yes, give me.
Skullduggery is a trade skill.
Well, it's like crimes.
Yeah.
Making crimes.
It's do crime.
No. So.
Yeah, I
What-
mean,
Just give me a ring, and I'm pretty much just going to be rolling straight ring.
water for moving, air for being sneakies.
I'll take water.
Okay.
I got 3 water. My saving grace. So, and just hit roll.
There's one.
I just don't have the other 2 here, and I forgot how to add more. So
Oh, if you hit the token button, it creates the token on the tabletop.
I just hit roll.
No.
Wah, wah. Okay. Okay, and then the next 2.
I mean, so far you've got a success.
Exploding success.
Yeah,
It did it again. It didn't populate the thing. That's weird.
that is weird.
Hey, I don't know what's causing it.
Is it getting your name and strife, maybe?
I didn't think so, but I'm gonna re-roll the exploding success
All right.
if it lets me.
You can probably just roll that third die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have. So I have, and I get to keep ring dice, right?
Yeah.
So I pretty much have
You have 3
One
opportunity and a success. And a strife.
and a strife. Okay, cool. So I hope this wasn't difficulty 2.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you how much it was.
Yeah.
All right, so approaching unseen is probably at difficulty 2 to come across the courtyard to be unseen. However, for those 2 advantage, here's what I'll tell you, right? Either you can either see who this person is before they spot you and run away, or go after they spot you.
I'm sorry, you cut off during that last one.
Sorry, you can either see who this person is,
Right?
or you can track them. You can see where they go after they start moving.
I'm gonna track him.
All right, so this shadow clearly spots you, and you can actually see a hand go to their hip, and there's a flash, not of steel, but definitely of some sort of lacquered scabbard.
Uh-huh.
Then they clock you, they see who you are, and they split, and they start moving under the cherry trees towards buildings in the back of the courtyard,
Okay.
as though they clearly don't want you to see them.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Do I have time for an invocation before they start running?
Yeah, probably.
With my 3 advantages.
Yes.
I would like to cast Grasp of Earth.
Okay.
So I can make a difficulty 2 Theology Earth check, which I will do as I figure out what my ranks are. I have +1, right? So difficulty 2, and I'm going to spend a Void Point. That adds a ring die, right?
Adds a ring die, and you get to keep an extra die. Yeah. It essentially buffs your ring up 1.
Okay, so I'll pretty much just get to roll 3 and 1. I didn't do it again. That's weird. But that's 2 successes.
Mm-hmm.
And an opportunity and a strife. So I'm at 2 strife.
All right. What does that do? I'm looking for.
So I got it up right now. If I succeed, each target suffers supernatural damage equal to my Earth Ring and must resist with a target 4 fitness check or suffer prone.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
How
All
would
right.
you
And then in parentheses after that it has air 2, water 5. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
I'll look that up.
All right. Well,
I'll target 4 fitness.
I will try to resist that.
Good luck.
And aside, go.
Although you don't have enough success.
Do not. I do not have enough success. I have a fair amount of advantage, however.
You do.
I don't know what that does in this scenario.
Not sure.
That would just be on like a general resistance, right?
I totally do. So what does? So they take damage and they have to make a roll to get free. Is that correct?
Yeah, you make a difficulty 4 fitness check to resist.
Okay, and if they don't resist, they're stuck.
Prone.
You are prone.
Prone. Okay.
Usually this invocation causes the target's legs to sink into sucking mud that springs up from the ground, fall into recently arrived quicksand, or an inconveniently placed hole. I'm choosing that last one.
Jesus. Okay. All right. So she tripped on some tree roots or something. Okay.
And did I get any opportunities with that? I got 2. Yes, I got 2 opportunities. I'm spending those opportunities to say that you also suffer immobilized.
Okay. Not sure what to do.
Invocations that deal damage directly have a deadliness of the ring plus the Shugenja's current strife.
Which was 1 before
5?
I casted the thing.
So 4 deadliness?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what deadliness does.
I think it's damage.
Well, no, because it gives a damage. It says they suffer supernatural damage equal to my Earth Ring, which was 2.
Yeah, I think deadliness has to do with some kind of crit thing.
When a character suffers a critical strike.
Yeah, someone can look up deadliness, but what happens with this person?
Okay, so this person trips and falls
into a hole.
To a hole. Yeah, skitters across the paved stones. One of the paving stones turned to mud or something under her foot. Out into the moonlight, and you can clearly see that dumped onto the ground in a fairly unceremonious fashion is the Shiba that you may or may not have seen earlier.
I don't think I did, but I'm somewhat familiar with the role the Shiba plays. So,
okay, and turns to you, and she's immobilized. You
Yep.
immobilized her.
I did spend advantages to make her immobilized. Yes.
All right. She looks at you, looks back in the direction of the crane shadow that you decided to let go, and then looks towards you, and still on the ground, pulls her katana like 2 inches out of its scabbard. Stay back from me, creature.
Creature? Why, this... I do recognize that there's inadequate lighting in this arena, but I assure you I am no foul creature.
Says the Gaijin.
The scent of Gaijin magic is all over you.
Yeah, and I also...
Practicing Maho here in the center of the empire.
Okay. Well, first, ouch. Words hurt too. But I was just merely curious. I saw a shadow, and I had to make actions to try and lessen the chances of more foul play occurring here. But now that I see that you are no
Foul play. You used foul magics against a fellow samurai. I shall have your head for this.
In my defense, you were obscured by so many shadows. I could not be certain of what I was actually targeting with my invocations.
I just want to point out that you had 2 opportunity. So one would let you immobilize them, and you could actually spend the second one to reduce the damage she suffers to 0.
That's actually a very good idea. I'm going to do that.
That seems just in Django's character.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, she'll be slightly less mad then, but still not very happy.
No, not happy at all.
Is she still immobilized?
Yes.
Yes.
I think that the crane, the big Kakita Abushi, who you haven't met yet, sort of emerges from the shadows behind you.
Do I notice this person?
They're not being terribly stealthy about it.
Well, that's good.
Takes up position a ways from you, but definitely inside bladed death range of a godlike duelists.
Mm-hmm.
You, Outlander.
I
don't
Phoenix. Believe that's my proper name. I don't also believe we have the honor. I am Yuichi Django.
I am... Let me make sure I'm using the right name here. I am Kakita Yoshi.
Honored to meet you, Yoshi.
You need to explain yourself now.
Well, I was happening upon a stroll in this very lovely surroundings when I saw a blur over here in these shadows, and with my observations of the murder scene of poor Grendel's son. No, that's not it.
Gurino.
That guy.
Gurino,
yeah.
Gurino. I do admit I was slightly on edge about supernatural occurrences on this arena. When I saw a flitter of a shadow, I did take it upon myself to act. I don't think it was above my station or my call, but now that I see that there are no otherworldly things here, I do apologize for any inconvenience.
Have you released the Phoenix yet from the ground?
Nope.
Okay. You often, and the Kakita will sort of take one half step forward in a way that really raises the hair on the back of your neck. Do you often find yourself stalking around darkened courtyards, observing others in secret?
I was more observing.
It's not on the hilt of his sword yet, but you know it could be there, real fast.
Oh, I was more observing the placement of the many cherry trees here and how they offer such wonderful shade and such wonderful secluded areas for private reflection. Do you often come here to reflect, Yoshi-san? Because I do I want to try and find a way to word that trying to initiate a duel with someone who doesn't even have their own katana, because Shugenjas don't get katanas, is not a great thing for someone who cares about how they're perceived, which is the entire point of the Crane Clan.
Yeah, and generally, yeah, the leverage you have here is starting a fight with a Shugenja is basically a no regardless. And yeah.
Killing one,
yeah. It's probably not great.
From Hell's
Ichiro,
Heart,
where are you?
From Hell's Heart, I dishonor thee.
He's definitely picking up what you're putting down, and you can tell that he's like walking a line here.
So, Django raises a good point.
For once.
I mean, have I noticed any of this? Has the Krabushi noticed any of this?
This is not happening.
I thought you said it was by that courtyard.
Courtyard, but it's all sort of happening in like a darkened area on the other side.
Okay.
I mean, unless the Shiba kind of like let out a yelp as she fell, then I don't think anything that was happening here was particularly noisy.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're really interested, you could theoretically try to like.
No.
Yeah.
If there's a perception option.
If Django wants me there, I am happy to be there and start disturbing shit.
Well, I'm not just gonna randomly yell, "Hey, Ichiro!"
Yo, right. Scorpion! I need your help, Scorpion!
Oh, what a weird crime scene! Wouldn't it be a shame if Batman came around?
So this crane is staring daggers at you, and you say that Phoenix is still stuck, right?
Not for much longer, but yes.
Yeah, it's at the end of.
Sorry, go ahead.
Mechanically, it's at the end of her turn. If she hasn't moved, she can free herself.
Yes. Okay. So at this point, I kind of just asked, might I ask what you and Shiba-san were reflecting upon in this quiet grove of solitude?
One should contemplate their own actions before inquiring to those of others.
At this point, she kind of like feigns realizing what's doing. Oh my goodness, I do so apologize. And she just the thing that's gooping Shiba to the ground just stops.
All right, the Shiba once she's free will sort of drop her sword back into the scabbard totally and pick herself up off the ground. And very warily, with her eyes on you, start backing into the darkness, essentially. Do anything to intercept her?
Well, I kind of look at her and ask the question of, again, politely, what was going on here?
Simply a moonlit stroll.
Awfully still
like
for a stroll,
but all the way back. Like she's trying to get away.
Okay.
And the Kakito will cough.
Hang on.
Somewhat aggressively to try to get your attention.
Hang on. That's not what I want. I think I have another spell that would be interesting.
Oh, but good. What you got?
I have to look it up again.
Okay. All right. Well, here let's cut to somebody else for a second.
Give me a second. Let me compose myself.
Also, I think I figured out what those, like the Fire 3, Earth 6 or whatever mean.
Okay.
Hit me.
I think those adjust the target number based on your ring approach.
Oh.
That's my guess.
Okay. That makes sense.
Because if you like try to water resist the Earth coming up and grabbing you, you might be less good at it.
Okay. That checks out. Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. All right, Makoto, you have finished your investigations your interviews of the monks. It is fairly late at night. What's your next move?
Well, I'm gonna go wake up the Shigana.
The fire Shigenja? The Oracle of Fire?
I'm gonna wake them up in order of least suspect to most suspect.
Okay.
Oracle of Fire.
Okay. Yeah, so there are. Let me check and confirm here. 2, 1 little Shugenja on site that are not the weirdo unicorn. Those are the Kuni Witch Hunters,
and she
and the Shiba.
Shiba.
Sorry, yeah, the Oracle of Fire and the Kuni.
That's a Sako, right? Is the Oracle of Fire?
The Asako is the Phoenix Monk. The Oracle of Fire is the Asawa.
Okay, so was Asako drinking with Kuni and Asawa when
yes,
Garino got murdered?
Well, for most of the afternoon and evening through which the murder occurred, yes. Remember that monk told you that the Asawa had stormed off at one point?
Right. So we're going to go talk to Kuni first. The Kuni.
The Kuni is back in the temple, the main temple area. Is a fairly good word for it. Kuni, I don't know, how well do you know Kuni? Familiar at all?
They're the crab spellcasters, right?
The super hardcore anti-Shadowlands dudes that have the crazy face paint. And
so what you're saying is I should walk around to this person, accuse them of Maho, and
yes, absolutely 100%. Yes.
All right, they're the Kabuki warriors. They're the Kabuki spell people.
They've got the face paint mask, and they are Shugenja that occasionally carry katanas. Like, they take their job of like killing bad things very seriously.
And this is I'm looking at one that apparently also comes with a puppy. Interesting.
I think I know the art that you're talking about. It was L5R card art. L5R card art, I think, at one point. Yeah, so this guy is in the temple, in the sort of the temple garden.
Mm-hmm.
Had to be a pretty bad dude, I think. And the monks, the various like Thousand Petals and workman monks are giving him a wide berth. Want to deal with this guy. Nobody wants to go near him.
I go near him.
Yeah, so you walk in and he's sort of like sitting in lotus position with his sword in front of him. He's got a that has like jade pendants on it. That's fairly common for these guys. And yeah, he notices you coming.
Jade absorb shadow or something?
Jade absorbs Shadowlands energy, the negative energy of the Shadowlands. It's the way.
Taint.
Yeah, it's the way that you fight off taint. Essentially, right. It will absorb the taint instead of you taking it.
Okay. Not that I know that. Maybe not. Yeah. So I'll move up to a respectful distance, and then like hang out and wait for a bit.
Okay. He's sitting there with his eyes closed, sort of in lotus position, and then after you've been standing there a few minutes, son,
what was that?
Without opening his eyes,
he addresses you by last name.
Okay.
What would you like? What? Katsuki-san, what?
What? Kuni-san, I would like to ask you a few questions about your interactions with Garino recently. The monk Garino.
Yes.
I don't know what his title is, so.
Yeah, he's just, yeah. I don't know if he actually has a title. He's probably like master of the something monks. Yes, one moment, please. And he stands up and he goes over and he sort of like grabs a monk-looking robe and puts it on and takes his things and ties his sword back around his waist with his obi and
why does the robe look like a monk? Ignore me.
and walks and sort of gestures with you to you to walk with him further into the temple.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Yes, Gorino. I heard what happened to him. It is most unfortunate. He was a strong follower of the Tao. Of being the religious sect.
You wouldn't happen to have had any arguments with him recently, have you?
Oh, goodness no. Gorino and I were on good terms. Eye to eye, Gorino and I.
Makoto, you should
Yeah.
murder this man for heresy.
Why is that?
Because he's clearly a ring heretic or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
Spoiler alert: the crab really liked the ring heresy because it fucks over the lion, and the crane and the scorpion. They really like the ring heresies.
Hmm.
Go on a little bit about sort of what they talked about, and it's very theologically dense. Clearly a man very interested in that side of things.
Right.
It's really intense. Like you sort of get this up close. I don't know if Makoto has ever encountered a Kuni before, but she's definitely getting the idea of like why people don't like them sometimes because they are super intense.
Okay.
The investigation. I heard that you and yours are overseeing it. If you would like any assistance, I would be happy to help. Grips the handle of his katana.
Forgive my lack of knowledge in Kuni affairs, but would you perhaps are you familiar with the concept of I don't know, like spell casting? I forget what the word for like okay spell people are.
Sure.
Not Shigana, but like the ability to cast spells that's not like not bad spooky, not Maho, but
Invocations?
yeah.
What you talking about? Okay, yeah. Yes, I like those of my school can cast spells. I use them. We use them to hunt the darkness.
I'm looking for somebody who might be particularly skilled with the ability to cast spells, perhaps in the ability, and perhaps have used it in the past to hunt the darkness.
I can probably help you there. I am in ferreting out the dark things. Why? Is there darkness involved?
There may be. Do you know how to produce flame such that you might cut another person's limb for their body, as one might do it with a sword?
Yes. This is a fairly simple thing to do. Yes.
It's fucking crabs. Yeah, I can make a fire sword.
Totally. You need
It is
somebody to fire
necessary in
sword
my line of work.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this guy beefy?
Not super beefy, but also like crabs don't come in non-beefy flavors. So
Right. This is not the spicy chicken version of the crab lo mein.
no.
He's
I
got
don't-
imitation
fuck that.
crab meat.
Right.
This
is
dude,
not-
so, like, even the crab Shugenja fight shit, and
No, yeah.
the Kuni specifically, and this might be something that Makoto would know. Like, they're trained to fight Shadowlands creatures with swords, with clubs, with their bare hands if necessary, and
Right.
then if they absolutely have to, with magic.
You could take him to the murder scene.
I'm probably maybe like vaguely whining him that way if he's letting me do so, and then I'll subtly segue onto the do you know how much force it takes to this and Garino's head was basically turned around backwards, right?
Yeah, it was popped pretty well.
Is it terribly difficult to turn a man's head around backwards?
well, it depends on the man. And he goes into sort of like this treatise, like you can tell that like this is like day 3 at crab school.
This was his
Right,
master's
like-
thesis.
Well, this is like, this is the thing that all crab want to brag about having done. Like, this is the ripping the phone book of crabs.
like those guys that study like the combat arts techniques, so like will tell you how much force it takes to tear a man's ear off. Like this is that, except for snapping necks.
Right.
And it's a guy who
It's-
actually does it.
It's not 15 pounds of shearing pressure required to tear the cartilage in the ear. It's,
No. Yeah.
but it's not too far. Excellent. You seem to, and is this something that you could do?
If necessary.
So
It rarely is, though.
at
When
this
one has
point,
access to a fire sword.
can I have like? Do you want me to roll something to have like subtly led him to this place so that I can open the door upon the scene of the crime after he's admitted to be able to do these things?
Absolutely.
I feel like that's like
walking him.
Go ahead.
No, please give me your idea first, and I will.
No, I want to hear yours first because I read my idea and it was wrong.
Okay. Like redirection is a water thing, so I feel like plus. So I can find that skill list again. Like if you're walking him there, like are you like nodding along this whole time, like being super like? That might be like a courtesy thing to get him to walk over there and do the thing. I don't know.
What about skullduggery? It's not really. No,
You're like,
none of these things describe that sort of thing. That
skullduggery works. I'll let you roll skullduggery.
I mean, it's kind of a con, I guess, but
Yeah. No, we're gonna call this guy is not This guy's not a. I'm gonna say it's probably difficulty 3
okay.
on this roll.
This is, for a purely theatrical role, I am totally doing this for no other reason than to see if I can.
Okay, great.
Oh,
Fuck.
Holy
great,
shit
but-
balls. Guys.
So I don't really want to stress out because this is the same scene, right?
Fair. That's fair, yeah.
Okay. So I'll take the
think you
2
are.
without strife on them,
mm-hmm.
but that means I have to re-roll them, right?
Yep.
And then the 1 success with strife.
Okay, so I'm at 3
Yep.
and an
Okay.
opportunity, and
Nice.
3 and 2 opportunities. So that meets what I needed to do, right?
You have to keep 3
Yeah.
dice.
What's that?
You have to keep 3 dice.
You have to keep to ring, or
Oh, I don't know.
is ring the max you can keep to?
I think I'm not sure actually. I will double check.
For the beta rules.
I mean, it kind of. I can see it working either way.
Yeah.
Determine skill. Doop. Assemble and roll dice.
Playing advantage.
The player picks up a number of skill dice. Then all these dice roll dice. Then any effects.
Player chooses and keeps a number of kept dice from 1 to their ring value.
There you go.
So you can choose to keep less than your ring value.
Yeah.
All right, so I just kept 2. That gives me 3 successes and 2 opportunity. I'd like to spend the opportunity on observing the person's reaction when I spring the scene on them to see
Okay.
if like they notice that I'm trying to determine whether or not they realize they've been brought back to the scene of the crime that they committed, or if not.
Okay. So you walk him in, and you sort of walk him in the circuitous route, and then you take him through the door. He's still talking. He's definitely like aware of his surroundings. He knows where you're leading him. And you walk him into this room, and he sees it, and you can see him sort of tense for a second. Immediately goes to his neck, to the the necklace that he's wearing, the jade pendant that he's wearing. Sort of surveys the room. It stops him in his tracks for a second, but he's really hard to read past that. He immediately reacts as though something here makes him want to get his jade out and go like darkness hunting. And you don't really know why that would be.
Well, I mean, we know there's Shadowlands taint in the room.
Yes, but you don't. Okay, so I guess it would be easier said that you couldn't know that right now.
Right, so I'm gonna pitch it soft pitch it as the only two creatures I could fathom having done something like this would have been, a particularly feisty crab or something out of the Shadowlands. I mean, I can only assume that a monster could potentially be responsible for turning a man's neck around backwards.
Oh, there are ways, and you can see him sort of picking his way through the room. There are ways to do this. This here, and you can see him turning and looking, and when his feet crunch on the sort of black powder, looks down and then steps out of the way, so he's not doing that anymore.
Sorry, you cut out.
How you found him?
Yeah, we haven't moved anything.
Where did his hand go? He's searching for that.
Did we find his hand, or it was just gone?
There it was gone.
Yeah, it's gone. So we probably need to find that, huh?
That would be my next step, Kitsuki-san.
Well, that's good advice. I don't want to do I don't want the Rokugan cop version of be sure to talk to the police before you go to town thing is, but like
don't leave town.
No, it's just the sort of thing was like, and as someone of the stature, having the stature and the knowledge wherein to commit an act like this, I trust that your honor would lead you to cooperate in the capture of the perpetrator.
As I have said before, if you wish for my assistance, you have only to ask, Kitsuke-san.
Cool.
You are clearly dealing with powers beyond your kin. Serve to help you in this.
Yeah, I don't know how to find a hand, do I?
I mean, you look, but
Right.
Your keen investigative mind has noticed that it looks like it may have been fire katana / lightsabered off, and that means that it's somebody. If it's not there, then it probably got taken.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I assume it was taken. I just didn't know if there's some way to track someone track a hand by like the person that's on. Not
you
knowing
probably
blood.
can't.
Django might be able to. Can I summon a unicorn with like a horn? Get it?
Well, I
here
still
they
have
only
my own
come for
predicament.
they only show up for virgins. So,
Well,
Kitsuki.
Sorry,
that's a
hon.
problem. Yeah.
Plus, I'm still in a sticky situation. So
Yes.
right.
Speaking of which, let's
I think
cut. Let's cut from Makoto to Ichiro. We haven't talked about for a while. So have you spent this time making nice with the crab, planting rumors?
Mean, as soon as like it becomes apparent the crab doesn't seem to have too much for me.
They're I mean, just around. Do you inquire as to their whereabouts? Like, are you actively finding information, or are you? So, is Ichiro actually investigating, or is he just like stirring shit at this point?
I'm here to. So these two yahoos represent like a new way of doing things that aren't, shall we say, traditional Rokugani values.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I am here for traditional Rokugani values.
So standing up for the old ways.
Yeah, exactly. And like, they've got us this far. This ring heresy seems like bullshit, but if I can make the cranes and lions look like idiots, then I've done the scorpion's job, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, guilt is going to be determined. Like, guilt is going to be determined by whomever I can like steer into murdering each other.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and so I'm basically just trying to find ways to steer lions into cranes and cranes into phoenixes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, if you sort of, I guess you probably crabs specifically are going to be there.
Yeah.
Actually, give me some sort of social role to manipulate the crabs into talking to you.
Some kind of like
Because-
courtesy or
Yeah, something like that. They have some
courtesy
interesting
design
information.
or courtesy skullduggery or sentiment or theology.
Theology. Probably courtesy is probably the most
Okay.
effective just for getting along.
And
Uh,
what ring are we thinking?
I mean, it's tricking somebody's air.
Yeah.
So probably something along that line.
Well, then I will roll the same roll. Oh, I forgot to ask for the target. I hit it.
Base target is
Probably
1,
it.
and then
Okay.
we'll move up from there.
So I will keep at least one success. I'll keep the exploding, and I'll keep that opportunity.
Alright.
So right now I'm at 2 successes, 1 opportunity, 1 strife, and another success, another opportunity. So I take 1 strife, and I have 2 of the other good stuff.
So yeah, as you're sort of plying this Hida
Mhm.
and her companions, you overhear, first of all, from the 2 next to them, the Yasuki, the crab, essentially, let's drop something about that they've made since they've gotten here. They're like, yeah, we totally. So we got that hookup now. We can work on that, and then very like instantaneously the 2 crabs sort of look at each other and make eye contact, and they don't talk about that anymore. There's like a 2-second silence, and they start talking again.
Yep.
And so you pick up on that, and sort of just in casual conversation with the Hida, like between these 2 merchants that are talking about, the Hida sort of, yeah, so we've been here. They sent us down all the way down here to do this stupid Imperial thing. And I guess we're also doing some like clan stuff along the way, but I'm not sure why. I mean, mostly I've just been watching her back, and she points to the merchant.
Mhm.
Mostly I've just been watching her back and like trying to keep her out of trouble. And man, we had to go down in that like down in that cellar, and it was not pleasant, and I just don't know. No, and then she like instantly recognizes she said too much. That's all. What are you gonna do with your advantage?
I
You could probably open her back up and get a little better idea what she's talking about. You
yeah.
can prejudice them towards someone else. What would you like to do?
I mean, the prejudice them towards someone else sounds fun. What's the other thing? I think my other Shuji, and I want to just double check this. I think
Because Bayushi's Lies is the other one, right?
Oh shit, that's what it is. So I have Lord Bayushi's Whispers and Rustling of Leaves. What's Lord Bayushi's Whispers? Which, yeah, it may as well be called Bayushi's Lies.
Once per game session, you can make a skullduggery check to uncover an informant who can give you info about a subject.
Okay,
Okay.
so maybe not that one.
Those
No, I
only
think
apply right
I'll
now.
open her back up.
Okay. She's after a couple more drinks. I mean, she's big, she's muscular. It takes a fair amount of booze to get her talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stupid that freaking Daidoji, man. He would not stop. Like, that guy is spooky. And like, I've killed Oni with my bare hands, and that dude freaks me out. When we were down there, he was just staring at me like he was gonna kill me. this was his brain or something. They were hashing a thing out, and she sort of motions to the Yasuki and like they were hashing the thing out, and like I don't know what his deal was, man. Not okay. That guy is not okay. You get the idea that I have to spell it out. Crane and Crab were working on some sort of secret deal.
Yeah.
And this probably would have been right around the time that Gorino died.
Okay. What are the odds I can stumble into like a fairly junior lion and pass that info along?
There aren't really any fairly junior lions. The entire lion cohort is the Otomo, the old Otomo historian, and the
Okay. Is there any
the
way that
one
I
who
could
was-
pass a rumor to one of them, like, through someone else?
Yeah, probably. I mean, you've got like you are Scorpion. You've got that one talent. So you're probably like supernaturally good at getting people to
Yeah.
spread rumors for you.
Oh, that's what... Okay, so I'd, like, write a note, basically.
Okay.
Hand it to Hanan and get them to, like, deliver one of the lions a drink with the note
Okay.
underneath it. And just, like, Crab and Crane working together or something, just to, like... Not that it takes much to get the hair up on the back of a lion's neck, I imagine, but...
No. Okay, yeah. You get one of the Hanan to for your note. Do you do it while at the table with the crab? Like, do you do it in
Right under their nose.
Okay. Yasuki and the Yoritomo sort of give you knowing looks. The Hida is like gone at this point. She's like, this is all like way above her pay grade. She should be out.
I don't think I've acknowledged her yet. Like maybe I've done like the most cursory of introductions to Mantis, but they aren't a great clan. I'm not in their territory.
That's fair. They're kind of used to that, and they sort of expected you to be a dick.
Yeah.
So it's probably fine. So yeah, you pass this note, and the Heenan takes it over, and on the next pass to fill up the sake glasses of the
I'm still nursing my first one.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to drink through a mask. Is my excuse.
We'll drop the note on the sort of surreptitiously, somewhat secretly on the lion's table to be discovered. It's the Otomo that picks it up because the Matsu is sort of like over in the corner, semi-sulking, semi-raging.
Yep.
About the events of the day. Picks up the note and reads it, and then just starts laughing. And the Matsu shoots him a look like, "What in the hell do you think is funny now?"
Mm-hmm.
And he passes the note to her, and she looks at it, looks at the Otomo, and then stares across the room at the doji, who's still sitting there fanning herself.
Is there any way I can get a wink across the room?
Sure. You can definitely get a wink. And the Matsu stands up, takes the note, and leaves.
Okay.
So, Jongo, you are in the courtyard being semi-threatened by a big crane who may be willing to stab you.
Maybe willing to stab.
And the phoenix is disappearing.
Right, yes. So there's a thing that
perhaps you should contemplate the for at least a few moments more to truly comprehend their meaning.
Okay, there's a thing that I want to do, and it's probably meaningless in the long run, but it's funny to me, so I want to try it. Would you allow me to do a Shuji right here. Because I have...
A lot of them are just activated by talking, right?
Yeah. I want to use... I pretty much want to take what the crane is saying in thought for a second. Like, you are correct. The cherry blossoms. They come every year. Such generous gifts of beauty. Thank you for that inspiration, Yoshi-san. And she turns to the Shiba, and I want to use Well of Desire, which is basically I can make a courtesy water check to present a gift to a target. And if I get opportunities, I can do fun things.
Okay. All right. Okay. What are you presenting?
I want to give her one of my good luck talismans that I want to spread all over the place as part of my ninja.
Okay. Okay.
Basically,
All right.
I know it's harmless, but they don't. I just want to mess with her head.
All right. Yeah. Give me a roll then.
All right, courtesy water. So just water.
Getting her to not like just getting her to react in any way that's to do what you want is probably going to be. Well, does it give you a difficulty?
No, it does not.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna call this difficulty 2 to not have a sword drawn on you, probably. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. I'm just trying to be nice. But if that's how they want to play it, that's fine with me. Okay. Water. God. Otherwise I probably would die. Done. Alright.
Dang.
Okay, that's pretty straightforward.
That is exactly what I needed. Okay. So, I make the check to present a gift to a target, and I can spend the opportunity to say that if they want to refuse my gift, they have to forfeit glory. And if they accept it, I reduce the difficulty of my next social check against them by the rarity of the item, which I've handcrafted this talisman, but you set it to whatever you want to be.
Okay.
So I reach into the folds of my robes and I produce one of my good luck talismans, and I just kind of bow. And
She's
I
got a
offer
gun.
That was exactly the thread that was going to happen.
Yep.
Because you are a weird Shugenja that nobody trusts, who looks funny, that was like pulling a weird item out of. Yeah, no, you were about to get stabbed.
I know.
All right, she stops like at the edge of the building before she was about to disappear, like completely between two of them, and she puts her left hand on the hilt of her sword, steps towards you, sort of reaches out one hand, her right hand, to take the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you hand it to her, she will bow. Catch her shooting a look behind you, like past you, to the Kakita, and then butt turning and running.
She's just running?
Trying to get out of there, like right now. This thing that's going on right now is she wants out. She wants gone.
She wants off this ride yesterday.
You are most welcome.
And she'll like she'll give you some sort of like very curt attempt at courtesy, and then yeah.
Okay.
And the Kakita will stand there glowering with his right hand on the hilt of his sword.
Was it his left hand before?
With the Shiba, it was her left hand.
Oh, okay.
She's sinister.
That's the evil.
Or she was just sort of holding the sword as opposed to getting ready to draw it and cut you in half with one swift stroke.
Oh, I see.
You will sort of glower towards you, perhaps it is time to begin your I want to say investigations, but your contemplations of the rose blossoms.
A
And you
valid point.
you can see here sort of hear him spit the last like unicorn.
Oh, you are most wise, Yoshi. And then, just to kind of egg him on, I will like immediately drop into I forget like the actual term for it, but I will immediately drop to a cross-legged sitting position and just start
Lotus.
closing my eyes and just chanting.
Okay.
Are you chanting nonsense, or are you actually chanting?
How's he gonna know?
Yeah. he's counting to 10 in some weird language.
Yeah.
Ein. Zwei. Drei.
Yeah, pretty much.
Vier.
When you assume the lotus position, he will wait a couple of seconds and then bow, which you probably can't see because
Nope.
Nope. I mean,
Eyes
maybe
closed, chanting.
Sort of the shuffling of footsteps, and then you just get the sense that you're alone in the courtyard.
Yeah. As soon as I'm alone, I stop chanting and I make haste to find either of my companions at this point.
Okay.
And at this point, I will probably have to duck out.
Yeah, I think so. Like we're going to get this done in 1 or 2. I wasn't sure. Pacing is difficult at times.
Yes.
If it's okay with everyone, we can call it here and then pick it up. Can we? Do we?
If you guys want to do an extra scene or two, that's fine. But I just can't. I probably need to just.
This is a good spot.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's sort of gotten something. Everybody's learned something, even if they don't know what they've learned yet. So,
I've learned
that's
people
very important.
I've learned that I can make people hate each other.
We should team up.
You've learned that in the game of hate, some clans started on 3rd.
Well, yeah,
and
they don't need too much encouragement to steal home.
They do not.
Nope.
All right. So yeah, I feel like we can probably call it there with a fairly successful session, if not quite as fast as I thought it was going to be, which is fine. I'm enjoying it, so that's great. I hope you guys are too.
Jordan just paid me a very high compliment in chat. She said, "I am hate Cupid."
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, the scene with the crab and the mantis, my unstated goal, if I could somehow swing it, was to get the crab and the mantis to hook up afterwards, because they definitely seem like. But, anyways,
I am as happy as I am with that whole irritating violent people. I'm a little regretful that I didn't follow him to the bar, because I could have secretly cast the incantation on him that keeps him from getting drunk.
Of course you have that. That's a horrible curse.
That totally makes sense.
All right, I'm going to stop the stream here, but we've been That D&D podcast. My name's Andrew Otway. That's Zach. Nope, that's Zach. That's Kyle. And the further one is Michael. Good night, everybody.
Hello.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Listen.